Hello there, and thank you so much once again for joining us on Hope TV. This is where you look and live, and this is Testify. I am Sharon Naitore Wangenye, and as always, we gather every other time to challenge each other, to encourage each other, and at the end of it all, to glorify the name of God as we hear testimonies of different people. Now, today we have quite an interesting story, a lengthy one, and I don't want to waste too much time because we have so much detail to get to. We're hosting today Pastor David Hope Imbaiza. Yes, karibu sana. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Glad to have you at Hope TV.
I'm glad to be here.
Karibu sana. Sasa, let's start. We have a long way to go, I know.
Yes, we have.
Very many stories to hear.
Yes.
But let's start with just basically growing up. How was it growing up?
Growing up was not that easy because I was not born in a well-off family. My parents were not having a lot of money or wealth. I was born in Kericho, where my dad used to work at a place called Jamji Factory. My mother used to pluck tea in Kericho. That's where I grew up.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me why. I mean, apart from that, at some point you mentioned earlier that your parents separated.
Yeah, I was born in a family of 5. I being the third born. That means we have 2 ahead and 2 behind me. I was born in a family of 4 boys and 1 girl. And growing up, there was a lot of challenges. At the age of 9, my dad and my mom separated after going through a lot of issues, because there was a lot of beatings, mistrust in the family, because every time we used to hear my dad accusing my mother accusing my father, there was an issue of infidelity in the family. So they ended up separating. And that is when life started beating us, or that is where rain started beating us.
Okay.
Yeah, because now we had to grow up by ourselves, or ourselves rather. We were in a place where you can't go to your father, you can't go to your mother. We were in between, and that in between place was very difficult for us, because now nobody to pay school fees, nobody to take care of you. You are just there. So in that process, I decided to travel from Kericho to Busia, now my shags. So I went to Busia, and then arriving in Busia, I didn't have a lot of good relationship with the uncles, because I didn't know what happened between them with my dad. So again, I had to leave home after staying there for like 3 months or so. So I went to the border now to look for life.
You are 9 years?
I was 9 years by then. So there I connected with another man who connected me to another driver who used to transfer goods from Mombasa to Kigali, Rwanda. So we were able to meet, and my desire was to go to Mombasa because of the way I heard about Mombasa and the way things are in Mombasa. Now they were painting a picture of a very good place. So I desired to go to Mombasa. So we connected with this transit driver, and we left Busia, going where? To Mombasa. Now we arrived to Kisumu, we had a breakdown. I decided now to go here and there, just trying to see the town. In the process of seeing the town, I got lost in the town. Now it was becoming dark. I can't locate my way back. So I decided to sit on a bench in that Kisumu town stage. There was a mama there, Mama Lucy. I still remember her very well, even though she's late by now. I wish she was alive to see what I'm doing and what I turned out to be. But I sat on that bench, and as she was doing her things, now when it was becoming dark, she asked me, "Who are you? And where are you coming from? Because you have been here all this long." I told her I was going to Mombasa, and the vehicle, we had a breakdown, and so in the process of going to the town, I got lost. So the woman decided to take me home to her house. That's when I ended up to her house, and I was living in a charcoal store. Kwa hii store ya makaa. I was living there. I stayed there for around 2 years. Then she decided to take me back to where my parents were, that is in Kericho. So we managed to go back to Kericho. Going back to Kericho, I was able to connect with my mother because of that motherly heart. You can't throw away your child. So she invited me in and we started living together. I went back to school.
You stayed with the woman for 2 years?
For 2 years. So I was able to go back to school again, finished class 8. There was no money again to go to secondary school. Other children were going and others were being paid for, they were being helped to go to school, but I was there. Because the way I used to behave in school, my character was not able to allow me to be helped. Because I used to be this naughty guy. I was not participating in any sport. I was not participating in anything. Mawaki ilikuwa tu kuenda sports kupiga watu na kurusha mawe. So I was not able to be helped because of that. So in the process of trying to look for life, my dad called me and he employed me. He used to run a bar, selling beers, Tusker, Pilsner, and all sort of that. So I started working with my dad in that bar, selling to people. But there was that something in me that wanted to go back to church things, because I grew up going to Sunday school in Jeshi la Wokovu. And that foundation, I think, was the one that was always calling me back to go back to do the things that God called me to do. In the process, we disagreed with my dad because of the woman he had married. So because the woman, when she gave birth to her own children, now I was like an outcast. Because of that strife, I decided to leave. My brother, elder brother, and my elder sister, they joined a church in the Kericho called JCC. That was the time JCC was starting in Kericho. So every time I used to meet this pastor, he's called Pastor Duncan Odongo. Then he's now a reverend, an apostle here in Nairobi. So he used to tell me that you are a great man. I see a seed of greatness in you. But by then I used to hang out with girls, moving around with girls, pursuing girls, you know, adolescent stage, now it's knocking. Now you are all over. Curling your hair, nini, doing a lot of stuff. So every time he used to meet me, he used to tell me, you are a great man. There is a seed of greatness in you. So slowly by slowly, through the influence of my brother and my sister, the way they used to talk about JCC, there is a keyboard, and here now in Jeshi la Wokovu ilikuwa kupiga ngoma. So something new, because okay, me I love some things, new things. So I saw a new arrival. There is a keyboard, there is microphones. In Jeshi la Wokovu there was no microphone and all those things. So I went to JCC. My first Sunday, I remember very well. I was wearing a green t-shirt, brown trouser, and a blue open shoes. It was Sandak. I think you know, so you remember Sandak if you lived in those days. So that is my first Sunday to attend church. And I remember what the man preached. I remember the sermon that Sunday. It was about launching into the deep. God is calling you to the deep. That was the sermon that Sunday. So it really touched my heart, and I decided to surrender myself. But after that service, I asked the pastor, I feel there is something that is calling me to serve, but I don't have a place to live. This pastor took me in, and we started living together with him. A single room with 7 people. One bed, you know, this self-contained, when uko jikoni at the same time uko in the sitting room. So we were in that room, 7 of us. That is me, him, pastor in Rongai called Pinto, brother called Daniel, there is another one called Walter, there was Judy, there was Millicent. We were staying in the same room, that single room. So the man of God is the one that was allowed to sleep on the bed. Others, we were just natandika chini. So the first one kulala inabidi aingie chini ya kitanda. Ndio tupangane kutoka kwa tukikuja nje.
Wow.
Again hapo kukawa na issue because the landlord akaanza kuleta shida. Akaambia pastor, now you'll have to leave this place because when you came alone. Now umeleta all your family members hapa. The reason why I'm chasing you is not because you're not paying rent, but the reason why I'm chasing is because mnanijazia choo. We were kicked out of that place at night and it was raining. So the man of God, the pastor Duncan, was telling us, now let us remove things from the house. And I was asking, where are we going? Because you have to know where we are going. So I told us just remove the things. So we removed the things, the landlord locked the house. We went to another plot, but sasa hii ilikuwa nyumba ya mabati na chini ni matope. So tukaingia hivyo, tukaweka polythene paper chini, tukaweka mattress juu, and we started life. I stayed with this man for over 12 years, almost 15 years. This is the guy who mentored me in ministry. Is the guy who shaped my life.
Yeah.
This is the man who I am today because of the seed he sowed in my life.
All right. And we will get to where you are eventually. We will get to hear what you're doing and where you are. But they got to a point where David had to get married or had to marry.
Wow, that's a big one.
Let's start on that story now.
That is a big one. A time came for me to marry. And as I told you earlier, in our family we have an issue in marriage. Marriage, there is a spirit in our family that causes marriage not to work. My father went through the same thing. His father, who is my grandfather, went through the same thing. From my mother's side, the same thing. And in both sides, kuna marriage imewaka. Those who are in marriage, they are really struggling.
That is aunties, uncles, everyone.
Everyone is really struggling. Actually, my two uncles, the one, my second last uncle from my father's side, yeah, hajawahi oa mpaka leo hii. Because every time he tries marriage, it doesn't work. So I came to realize that later, because I was trying to get into a relationship at a point where you get a girl, you fall in love with, you want to marry her, but when she looks at you, she judged you based on where you are. I remember there is a girl in Kisumu. She told me, I can't get married to somebody like you. You guys, you are really struggling. Pastor, the journey of pastoral is a journey of struggle and affliction. So it was very difficult. Even from my elder brother's side, he tried the first marriage, didn't work. He came to the second one. The one he is right now is the second one. My sister, the husband left. She was left with the two kids, a boy and a girl. She's raising the kids all by herself. Now coming to me, David. After the post-election, I lost everything in the post-election. That was in Kericho. Everything was burnt in the house because there was a fight between Kalenjins and Kisses. Everything went down the drain. 2008, after graduating from Bible school, 2007, 21st of December, 2008, I got a girl while I was still staying with Apostle Duncan Odongo. I got this girl, very nice girl, loves the Lord, goes to church, and does all the things that people do in church. So we started the journey of dating. We used to go for counsel at Pastor Apostle Duncan's place, counseling and all those things that people go through. After that, we planned for a wedding. We went to visit her home. We paid the dowry. We fulfilled all the requirements. A day came, that was on 28th of March 2009 was our wedding day. The way people call it, a big day. It was a big day for us. Like any other person, I knew marriage was just a good thing. Marriage was these flower things we are seeing. I didn't know marriage was work. We started the journey. Because by then I used to work at majani chai. Kwa Kericho wanaita majani chai. Nilikuwa nachuma majani chai in Kericho. So I started, she was a fundi kwa nashona nguo. We started staying together. The same year, in December 28th.
You got married then?
2009,
yeah.
March 28th. Okay. December the same year, God blessed us with a baby boy. Called Nimrod Fadhili. We stayed 2010. 2010, I moved from Kericho. I went to a place called Kipkaren River. There is a center there called Musembe. There was a church there. After post-election, kila mtu akajiendea. So I went there to start and build that church again. So I was there in that church, trying to gather members. When things cooled down, the political pressure ili cool down after Kofi Annan came in, watu wakaanza kurudi makwao. The leaders wenye walikuwa ndani ya hii church came back and they wanted their position. So it was a fight in that church. I decided to step down and leave them to allow them to continue. I stepped down and I started looking for a job. God connected me with a man called Olindi in Kipkaren River. Olindi connected me with another man in Kisumu. This man was to give me a job. Guess the kind of a job he gave me. I was employed in a mortuary to clean the bodies and to take care of that place.
Okay.
We are still staying in Kipkaren River. I didn't tell my wife the kind of a job I was doing in Kisumu, because I knew if I tell her, she will not accept. Because according to the way people know this work, wanajua ni ya watu wenye maybe wamerukwa na vichwa. But I can tell you, Sharon, in that process, God was still with me. So I was employed there. I worked there for 1.5 years, taking care of washing the bodies, cleaning the place. But something hit me so hard one day, because every time I used to hand over the keys to the watchman. Now this time around, I just, something just hit me, and I asked the watchman, why is it that we have to hand over the keys to you? And this watchman told me that this is a secret I'm telling you. People normally come here to pay a lot of money so that we can give them parts of dead bodies.
Wow, hold it right there. Hold it right there. I have no idea where this story is going. We need to take a short break. So please stay with us. We have a lot more that is still lined up for you, so please stay with us.